Good morning. It is Friday morning, the day after Thanksgiving. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm Scott Cullen, editor-in-chief of the Cannata Report. Great to be with you this morning for another episode of Fridays with Frank. Before I bring out Frank, don't forget, like, subscribe, comment. And Frank, how you doing? And how was your Thanksgiving? And also, what's on your mind?
It was great. Enjoyed the time spent with the family as always, and it was just a nice time. Quiet, but Thanksgiving for our family is never raucous, so uh, it was good. It was pleasant. How about yourself?
It was good. We do two Thanksgivings. We do Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, with Mary's family. And then on Thanksgiving Day, we go over a friend's house. It's sort of been an annual thing, and that's always a lot of fun. And then this morning, after we finish up Fridays with Frank, I'm going to drive into Philadelphia and have lunch with my daughter.
Sounds good. Sounds like a nice day. Well, I've been thinking a lot about at a holiday time, what would be of interest to our audience. But I would say that it's something I believe very strongly in. And again, that's something that I mentioned in my remarks at the gala. We can do unbelievable things when we do it together. That's simplistic to say. And then a good question would be, how can competitors work together? There are restrictions on competitors working that closely together. We all know that, and we all know the good reasons why. But I'm talking about things that are for the betterment of the industry. And not only betterment of the industry, but for the betterment of the community we serve and the country we're all fortunate enough to live in. Now, certainly our dinner is a small example in that we have a charity. And all the manufacturers, all the vendors, and I would say, without any fear of contradiction, they were all pretty much there with few exceptions, contributed greatly, and we raised $220,000 for a very good charity, breast cancer research. Now that's coming together. Can we do other things coming together that doesn't infringe upon law in terms of exchanging information and things like that? Yes, I think there are. I mean, I think our veterans program, I think what Mike Stramaglio has done with his Patriot Pack for the veterans, those are good things because you're drawing attention to people who are in need. And there's a lot of them who really, unfortunately, are. I'll tell you a sad story. Really brings my heart. I work with independently with a veterans organization called Adopt a Soldier Platoon. And basically what it is, it's about providing foodstuffs for troops overseas. And the founders just did a great job of forming associations with all different kind of companies who give us all the kind of food we want. Shippers ship the stuff for nothing. I mean, it's one thing after another that they've been able to get people to contribute. And of course, I love what is being done. One of them reached out to me and said, Frank, we got a situation that we can't handle. Do you think you can come up with somebody to handle this? I said, what's the situation? We have a young man who was paralyzed from the waist down. He was a paratrooper. And one of his jumps, he was paralyzed for the rest of his life. Okay, what can we do for him? Well, he's buying a new home, and he wants to have a flagpole with a regular flag, and he can't afford it. I said, really? Just wants a flagpole and a flag and that's it? We did some research. We found out a company that does that and we had it installed. It wasn't a big deal in terms of money. But little things like that, you have no idea how happy he was. His wife wrote me the most beautiful letter saying how proud he was the first morning they raised the flag. And of course, being an Army guy, well-trained Army paratrooper, he was there at sunrise, she said, raising the flag by hand, of course, with the rope, and then wheeling back and saluting. That just broke my heart. And he's very young. I don't think he's 31, 32 years old. So there are things you can do to help veterans like that are in need. More importantly, be sensitive or aware when a veteran applies for a job. Now, there's a lot of problems with veterans in employment because of PTSD. So you got to be aware of that. And what we've heard in terms of trying to connect certain veterans to work for different companies, they accept the job and they never show up. They're suffering from PTSD. So you got to find ways to help them, other ways to help them. But the key, I believe, is employment in a decent job. And we had a veterans table this year at the Gala, which I thought was really a great idea, and we're very thankful to Visual Edge for sponsoring that. Enabled us to invite veterans from around the country to come and join us at the Gala, 4 of whom were nominees for the Outstanding Veteran of the Year. And it was a good thing. And really, once again, we came together. Now, if we were having an event with a single company, or just our own company and just inviting friends, or whatever, that's fine. But to be able to bring competitors together, and each of them chipping in and doing more than their weight. Let's think more about what we can do together. And I'm sure we'll find many ways. That's my story, Scott.